face. You like that video?
I love it. I love it. It was great.
Thank you. Thank you. I see your face. I was like, oh, we are back in Australia again, virtual with another guest, and we have another wonderful life experience to share. Welcome back to Unfiltered Unspoken Podcast, where we're going to continue to share life experiences. We want to introduce Martha Monk today, and she's going to share her testimony. Martha, can you come up and tell the audience a little bit about yourself? And then, as you know, Sid is going to kick off the first question.
Definitely. Hi, everyone. Lovely to meet you all. My name is Martha Ma. I'm a confidence coach from Super Confidence Coaching. I'm also a community captain for Yeah the Girl 40 Plus community, where we support women over 40. Just like a lot of us, we all been through some kind of trauma. I was that person that who was told that I should shut up, be the woman, be the daughter, be the sister that the society want us to be. Guess what? What did it get me? It got me into a 19 years abusive marriage where I was too scared, too afraid, too ashamed to even get out. And after I got out, there was all new learning about the dating pool, about all the human relationship. Oh my God, what a transition that was in. And after that, COVID hit, where my business have completely changed. I'm also a professional makeup artist. I've been doing that for over 20 years. And now that going into the online space, it has been fun. It has been different. And especially managing a 31,000 people group, it has definitely helped me with my leadership and learning. So it doesn't matter where we come from, doesn't matter what we've been through. It is all about believing that you don't give up on you.
Absolutely. And thank you so much again for being here with us tonight. So we do with everyone like to begin, at the beginning of everyone's story. So tell us a little bit about your home life, your upbringing. What was your childhood like? And how did some of those experiences help shape, the experience that you may have went through as an adult?
I come from what I call a very colorful background. Since the age of 3 in kindergarten, I already experienced bullying. So my childhood has always been struggles. I went through one stage that where I have 3 years have no friends in my primary school life, where I was completely utterly alone. I still remember when I was at year 6, that's when my teacher finally say something towards the end of the semester. He was saying that you guys are going to move on to your next level of life. Isn't it good now that we give up all of the disagreement and everything that we have and start moving forward to the next phase? And that's when I starting to have some male friends. Females a little bit different, even we're always saying that, oh, like women support women and all of that. But we know secretly women can tear down women a lot faster than a woman. So to actually realize this, I think that it helped me to have that maturity and that understanding and caring. And when I was 10 years old, I moved from Hong Kong and coming into Australia. As an Asian girl that doesn't speak a lot of English, it was actually a completely different culture to me. It was a great learning about how to fit in, how to find my own fit, and again experience more bullying. So that's why it is very close to my heart that when people are not treated fairly, it is important to realize that everyone do have a voice, and you do have a voice no matter where you are and who you are. And I think that have helped me to become this very accepting person as I am. And throughout all the year, I think with everything that I have been through, I realized one thing, that no matter who you are, you have a choice to make. You have a choice to either give in to all other people's expectation, their validation, and to try to beg for their respect. Or you stop that and realize that, you know what, I'm working for me. I'm allowed to be the most egotistic person for me. Doesn't mean that I have to be rude. Doesn't mean that I have to do no respect. It's more the fact that to ask yourself more often that what is in for you? what is in for you, what is benefiting you. And I think that's how I developed this mindset of being the most confident and authentic person I know.
I'm sorry, I had some delayed movement right there. I apologize. I want to ask because you said you experienced bullying, and we try to be very transparent with the
Mm.
audience in Hong Kong, starting at an early age, and when you moved to Australia at 10, and you said when you got to Australia, it was even worse bullying. Can you tell us some of the things that you went through being bullied, because we want bullies to know how a person feels being bullied, and then the significance of the difference from Hong Kong to you, Australia.
Yeah, definitely it was a culture shock. In Hong Kong, everyone is supposed to play a certain role, the good girl role that you're supposed to be nice, kind, and eat slowly and things like that. I remember my first experience with a bunch of girls in my first high school. And they was because I was trying to be polite and gentle, I eat quite slowly at that time. And they said that, oh, you're chewing so much, you eat so slowly, you eat like a cow. And that affect me to the like to now onto it. And I think that as I grow up, I learned to eat faster, and I learned to actually do things faster. And a lot of people see it as a trauma, and they may be haunted by that experience. But from all the training and all the learning that I have done, I realized that I can turn that into a strength. So instead of worrying about what other people label me, I immediately step into thinking that, you know what, okay, I'll become faster. I work faster, I talk faster, I do everything faster, and then I become a bullet train. And then after that, when you're too fast, you're starting to miss things in life. And then when you get older, to my age now at 46, I think at about age 40, that's when I'm starting to realize that I can slow down. Instead of worrying about what other people thinking of me, I can slow down and actually smell the roses, as what people say. And I think that is another transition in journey as well. And it is because of all the bullying that I was experiencing as a child. I pretty much that wanted someone else to make me happy. And that's when I got into a marriage. I got married when I was 21 and met a guy when I was in a Hong Kong holiday. I was in Australia at that time, going back to Hong Kong for a holiday, and I met him and we got married within 2 months. That's what happened when you're 21 and you're silly and you just marry the first guy that you ever been with. And yeah, I stay in that marriage as well because I thought as an Asian woman, as I was told, that I should just shut up, be the wife, be the daughter, be the sister that the society want me to be. So I endured a 19 years abusive marriage without the bravery to step out, to ask for support, and to show any kind of vulnerability. And let's know this, not all of us that who went for DV are in a lower society status or someone that who may not have the capability to be self-sufficient. I actually run a very successful makeup business. I am the top 10 hair makeup artist in Australia. So I was being the breadwinner of the house. So I was earning the money and I was paying for everything. My ex-husband didn't have to do a thing for 10 years. I pretty much have to pay for everything. And that really took a toll in me. And it actually caused me to have what I call a money block as well in that thing, because I don't even want to know how much I'm making, because every time I check my bank account, I will know that he would take a large chunk of money out. It is very different that because at that time in my mind, I just want someone to save me. I want someone to make me happy without realizing that I'm the one who's responsible for my own happiness. So my emotion was highly affected by my ex-husband. Not until my 40th birthday, I sit down to myself and ask myself, what do I want in life? What do I truly want? And the funny thing was, I actually say to myself, because I was so depressed at that time, I said to myself, oh, I only want to live up to 60 years old. I don't want to live any more than that, because I experienced the luxury in life. I fly to all over the world to do my makeup job. I'm one of the lucky ones. I get paid really well in what I do. And I experience luxury. I have the most limited edition handbag that people want to get, but it doesn't make me happy. It was just material. So on my 40th birthday, I asked myself, what do I want in life? And then my answer is that I want to be happy, and I want to find someone that who deserve my goodness. And that's the courage that I took to get the divorce onto it and starting my new life. And I think a lot of us that in DV situation or unhealthy marriages or unhealthy relationship, we think that we are too late for something. And we also think that, oh, there's no one out there for us. The dating pool is very, very scary. It is not like, there's horrible people everywhere. But this is from day one, that there will be bad people, there will be good people, and you are one of the good people. So when you believe in that and truly embrace it, you're starting to vibrate differently and attract different people. And that's one of my most profounding experience of finding myself, finding my clarity, and knowing what I want. Because I can guarantee you, a lot of us, that if I ask you this question right now, what do you want in life? Only 10% can tell us what we really want.
Very true. Now, at the time of, when you came to Australia, and, you were dealing with, just being the new girl, or being, not knowing the language, what were your outlets at that time? Were your parents, or I'm not sure if you had any siblings, or were they supportive, around your feelings at that time? How were you able to express yourself, or able to even acclimate, once you were in Australia?
I actually didn't ask for help. Bad, isn't it? That's the one thing that I actually really encourage people to do. Ask for help. I didn't. I internalize everything. That's why that I am an introvert, and no one believed me. That when I actually say to people I'm actually an introvert, because I'm very good at hiding my feelings, and I'm very good at pretending that everything was okay. So I didn't get help. So what I did instead is to go and actually study a lot of different physiology, and also like teaching from the Buddhists, from wellness and all of that, and start seeing things from a different angle. Because I always believe that I am worthy of more. No matter what situation I was in, I can block out the bad things and just keep moving forward. And that was just how I become this resistant person, because I know the one thing that I don't want to do is to give up on me. Like the experience that I have in life, a lot of people will say that, yeah, it's very easy to turn dark. A lot of us took that opportunity to go into doing other addiction or other stuff. However, for me, I hold on to one light, is that the fact that I don't want another woman to suffer what I did. So that's why that I choose to be light. And I didn't know that from being a makeup artist, and it brought me into coaching, and it brought me into running a large women's group to helping more people. And it is all that the universe always has something that guided you to do something. I'm not a spiritual or religious person, but I do believe that there is guidance. So once you truly listen to your calling, and everything will fall into place for you, as long as that you maintain your good heart. Never let anyone else's action affect and change who you are inside. You are beautiful, you are kind, you are gorgeous. It's about being smarter, it's not about being ruder.
Okay. I want to ask, because you said, I'm gonna jump to pieces. You were paying. You say you were paying for everything when you were with your ex-husband, your first husband, and did he work? I guess for.
When he work, he spend more money than I do. He will go and actually do construction works or handyman work. He will buy like infantry and stuff like that, and that he's using my money. So whatever he's earning, he's using my money, but keeping his earning. So it doesn't
Okay.
benefit me at all if he actually work.
Okay, so I was gonna ask, because I want people to see like why we may not realize sometimes, or we're going through something and it causes us to do something. That's financial abuse, part of it, and many folks don't talk about financial abuse. So I'm glad that we're on this. But I also we have choices too.
Mm.
So I want to ask, why did you allow it?
A lot of people ask me that question, and I think that it took me a few years of internalizing before I can actually answer that. The truth was, I was scared to be alone. And that is a very vulnerable truth. Have always been overweight, like I'm a big girl. And I always think that because I was lucky enough to find a man to take care, like to take care of my emotionally, let's say, I thought that I cannot do better, that he is the only person that will be there for me. He constantly tell me that I'm not good enough, no one else will want me, no one else will take my shit, no one else will actually accept me for who I am. And it is all of those fear that when they tell you during the abuse, you're starting to believe in it because you lost yourself in the transition. And that's the reason that why I keep. It is because I did remember I say to my friend, because many people have asked me, I'm a very successful businesswoman and I'm a very happy person outside. Why am I enduring all of this abuse in the end? And I know that like some of our listeners outside may experience the same thing. We hide everything inside. No one knows about my story for the over 20 years. No one actually can see that under this happy, smiley face, there was so much trauma and scar inside. But I did it because I was scared to be alone. I thought that it is better to have a housemate, having something that people call husband or a partner is better than being alone. But I was the most lonely woman ever. But I still didn't cheat. I didn't actually go like, put my eyes sideways. I just close my mouth and do my own thing. I travel myself. I do all the luxury things myself. I go to fine dining by myself. I go and do all the things to use material and money to actually make myself feel happy. And I think that was very unhealthy. But at the time, I didn't know anything better. That's why, from my story, for anyone who's listening to it, really go and seek help and ask for help. At that time, I didn't know I could ask for help. All the people around me was married or engaged or have some good relationship, at least on the surface of it. I didn't know I could ask for a divorce. I didn't know I can leave an unhealthy relationship. And another point is my parents is Asian. And I am so used to seeing my parents like having those arguments and things like that where my father would put my mother down. I thought it was normal. I thought that that was what relationship is like. So because of my mother didn't fight for herself, didn't actually get the right treatment for herself, I didn't know I could do the same. And not until the more I explore into the self-development area with all the learning, I know that, oh wow, that's not right. What I'm feeling is violent, and I shouldn't be enduring all of this pain. It is only when I went and actually asked for help and discover that I know that I deserve better. So for all of us who are listening to this, really realize that you do deserve better. As a woman, there's only one thing that we need at like age over 40. What do we want at the end? You can't take your money to the grave. The only thing that you truly want in life at the moment should be happiness. If there's no happiness, why are you there?
So, what is it that you can say you, um, I guess, thought you liked about your ex husband, or what was it that I guess had you hooked outside of the, you just kind of went with the first person that liked you type of thing. I guess what was it that made you stick, or um, why weren't you? Why did it take so long? I guess to actually see your worth, even though he was stirring up emotions the whole time.
I have to say, the honest truth, the very, very deep truth was that I was scared to be alone. That would be the first thing. Second thing is, I made a promise to his dying mother that I will take care of him after being with him for 2 years. And then his mother passed away. And I remember on her dying bed that I promised her that I will look after him. So I kept that promise as much as I can, and as the person that I am. I'm an extremely loyal person, and I am very forgiving. And that doesn't give me the excuse of staying in a relationship like that. But truly, I didn't know better. I didn't know that there was no hope left. And I think one thing that I need to thank him today, and which I always say it in every single interview I do, I thank him for saying this one sentence to me. One time that I asked him, why is he treating me that way? And his reply was, you are not even worth a pile of dirt. This is the treatment you deserve. And I really was heartbroken from that moment. And I realized something. There's no hope in this person anymore. There's no hope in this relationship. And as a woman, we're really bad. We constantly create an image in our mind and a story that this person will change because I am a good person. Because I'm so good, I'm giving 120% to him. One day he will see my good. No, that is actually our fantasy only. And it is because that moment I realized there's no more hope in this relationship that I finally took the courage to leave.
Powerful, powerful. Thank you for that message. I'm gonna jump back because now we're talking about the domestic piece of it, and
Mm,
you made a comment that you watch your dad and mom go through some
mm,
altercations.
mm.
Are you open to talking a little bit about that?
Yeah, every
Um,
nothing is off topic for me.
okay. We want to make sure. Um, did your did did your dad physically abuse? Can you talk about some of the abuse that your
Mm.
dad did to your mom, specifically in front of you, and how that affected you?
They never really lay hands on each other, but it's more of the verbal abuse. My dad is a very alpha male, thinking that everything he said is right. I remember that I was always really scared of my dad. Even by putting a chopstick down on a different angle, he will make a comment and make you feel really bad. And one of the first experience that I have as a child, for experiencing fear, is that to teach me discipline, I think I was must be around age 4. He used a kitchen knife and stabbed my hand. So I have a mark in my hand to remind me that that was what he did to me. And I remember at that age, the only thing that I see was that my blood was red and my vein was blue and green. And that was the first moment I experienced fear. So a lot based on that experience and that trauma, it always made me fearful of my father. So we never was brave enough to stand up to him. Whenever that all the verbal abuse all happening, I didn't know that anything better. I thought that all Asian men is like that. They're always the alpha male. And my mom just took it. She just took it. And I thought that, oh, this is what a wife should be. This is what a woman should be, that we should just do everything that what a man want and men say. And that's why that I think doing a podcast like what you guys are doing and sharing different story is so important, because too many of us are still in the traditional mindset, thinking that we can't speak up, we can't have a view, and we can't have confidence and self-love. And I think delivering this sort of message to let people know we can speak up, we can actually have a voice, as long as we do it with respect, because everyone in this world will respect. Having a voice doesn't mean that you can go and actually tear everyone down and then be the righteous person. It is not about that. It is about understanding things from two point of view, two side of things, so you can make a better decision. And also, whenever altercation comes in, you can be able to zoom out to see the situation instead having that tunnel vision. That's how I see the big differences in it. And with my parents, I didn't see that happening. It is always my dad always doing this and my mom always taking it. And they're still together. They're first love as well. So they're the only like they've been married for like 40 something years onto it. So they're still together, they're fine, but the constant verbal abuse, I still see it every single day. And it isn't normal for them. So that's why that I didn't know that when when it happened to me. I remember when I was very young, I said that I'll never find a man that is like my dad. Guess what? He was 10 times worse than my dad. That's what happened, isn't it?
It's funny, not funny, but crazy how that works.
Yeah.
When you least think. Um, Now, I guess, what were the worst of times, in your relationship? Was it the beginning, middle, closer to the end? What was kind of your realization that had to get out of whatever it is, was going on? When did when was it dawning on you that this probably isn't it, and this is not how you want to live out your days?
I think after 3 months of marrying him, I already know something was wrong. I was the crazy woman that would sit at a bus stop waiting for him to come home at 3 a.m. in the morning because he would constantly go out and leave me alone. I was in Hong Kong at that time, so I didn't have my own friends and family in there. And I was heavily reliant on him. And I can remember the color of the four walls that I was on and how lonely and sad I feel. And the more I chase him, the more that he pulled away. And I have to say, probably during the middle part was the hardest because I feel like that I want to get out, but he keep pulling me back in. I wanted to get out. Keep pulling back me in. And the last 5 years, we didn't have any intimacy at all. He was sleeping on the sofa that there was a din on it, and I sleep in my own room. We hardly share a bed. There was no intimacy. We're sharing the same house. So I always say that he's just a housemate. It's better to have a housemate to look after the house than to be separated. That was my mindset in there. So I feel like that for me, the hardest part was making the big decision of how to get out and overcoming the guilt of breaking a promise that I make to a dying person and realize that I have done my best for this person. I cannot give more than I have and be okay with that and learn the fact that I am finally okay with that after 19 years. I think that was the biggest learning. And the funny thing was, the breakup wasn't actually the hardest part of my life. The hardest part in relationship of my life was actually what a lot of women experience after a divorce and you met the next wrong white guy. That was actually the killer. It's funny, isn't it? Someone that you've been with 19 years who are extremely abusive and you don't feel too bad about it. Maybe because you have healed, you have moved on. But the next person you met that who gave you that hope, who gave you that dream, and then you started to create a future of happiness and a healthy relationship, turned out that it was a complete shame. They're not ready for what you're looking for, and that's what hurt a lot of women the most. And those are the kind of women that I work with a lot in my workplace too.
Wow. Oh, wow. Um, I wanted to ask, uh, I love your testimony. I love everyone's testimony, but I love how you're just so transparent about everything. Um, can you tell us, through the marriage, 19 years, it was abusive. Can you tell us some of the abuse that you went through, and maybe, if you can, give us an example of like one of a real bad situation that you went through, from the abuse or doing it?
I think for me, a lot of them I have settled already. So I don't have a lot of memory into it. Beside the one thing that I have completely transitioned, which is the sentence that he tells you that you're not even worth a pile of dirt. All the other verbal abuse becomes normal. The way that he chuck things around, break all the glasses, break all the windows, break everything. That's why I have a fear of noise. I'm very sensitive to noise now because any loud noises make me scared. The way that he drive and constantly suddenly hit the brake so I can hit my head on the car, all of those abuse, it does leave a scar with you, and that's why that sometimes those trigger does comes up. But you have to learn also, and that's something that I learned. I am no longer that person who's in pain, and I choose to be haunted by those memories. So even if without you asking me that question, I actually forgot most of them already. And now that it bring it us, yes, it does have that sad feeling in the heart. But I have to immediately remind myself I am no longer that person that was haunted by him. Remember this one thing, lady. Now, if you are sitting in pain, you're sitting in frustration, you feel like that this is not fair to me, this is not right to me, and you have all that resentment in your life. Do you realize this? He's having an ice cream and a cocktail on a beach while you here suffering. Don't allow that happen. You go and have a cocktail, you go and actually have an ice cream, and you go and live your best life, because I'm no longer allowing that energy to go to him. I am going to live my best life. He doesn't mean anything to me anymore. And I think that's the true
Say it
moment you
again.
can get it back. It is
Say it
true.
again.
It is true. Take that power back. He's over there having
Mhm.
an ice cream, having a cocktail, doing his best life, while I'm here sitting crying in frustration and anger. That's my energy. No F way. I am going to live my best life, have my ice cream, have my own hula dance, and don't worry about it and not give that energy to him. Because I know a lot of us stays in pain. We stay in that frustration and thinking that he's so unfair to me, he shouldn't do that to me. You can blame all he wants, he's still having that ice cream. So
Yeah.
why give him that energy?
And
No.
he's probably having ice cream with the girl that he cheated on you with anyway, so it don't matter. So you might as well go ahead and have ice cream on a date if you want to, because it doesn't matter. Be happy with
Exactly.
whatever you do. Yeah.
I'm completely 100% with you on that. And I think a lot of people, like I said in the earlier, if in dating and healing part, if you can become the most egotistic person and ask that question, what is in for you, you will be living a lot happier life, because all those things that doesn't matter won't affect you anymore. I first, being egotistic is the most scary word for me, because I've been told that I'm egotistic, everything is about me. But I'm like, wait a minute, you don't live my life, you don't pay my bills, you don't even come in to clean my cat litter. Who are you? You don't matter to me. So when you don't matter to me, why are you like, your sentence cannot affect me because I choose not to let you affect me, and the choice is mine. And it's okay to do that, because I'm not being rude to you. I'm just saying that you can take your sentences, wish you love and light, bye bye. I choose to get out. And there's no problem's fault. It's just that we have a misalignment.
Absolutely. Wise words spoken for sure. Um, and I had a question and I lost it. Um, yeah, I do it all the time, no worries. But in the marriage, what did I want to ask? Um, oh, with your career choice, although you were making the money, kind of supporting you both, did he ever give you any, slack about what you were doing as a career? Whether, you had the notoriety, usually with, abusers and narcissists and things like that, they, make it an issue to, kind of get under your skin about certain things you're doing, even if it is beneficial to you both. Was there
Yes.
any issue about the actual career lane that you were in, particularly since, Asian culture is very, math, science lane,
Yeah.
very traditional. Were there any issues, on that lane of things?
He did told me that I earn more than a prostitute. So there you go. That was one sentence that he said. Yeah, he did. That's what he said to me. I work like I earn more than a prostitute, and he always say, "All your clothes is black," because I'm a makeup artist, so I'm always in black. So those things did affect me in a bit, but at the end of the day, I'm paying the bill, so I don't really care. At the end of the day, if you continue, like it can hurt you during those times because like I'm doing everything in the house onto it. You just need to look after the home. So our role has been really separated. Like I have to admit that I'm one person that doesn't really cook. I don't clean. I hire a cleaner to come in to clean. Or and that's just like all the things that I'm good at is to make money. That's what I'm good at. I'm a very business minded person. And I know my strength. And as a partner, that's how you should work together. And in my current relationship with a beautiful man, he understands that and he let me and support me. And even just the other day, like I've been quite sick on recently, and he will just come home after his long day shift. He's a navy, and then he will cook like my special congee for me just to make sure that I have enough healing, all of that done. I asked him the other day, I was like working, I'm coughing like there's no tomorrow, and I said, oh, can you please clean the kitchen? And then he just go and do it. So that's the thing that I think one of the biggest differences between my relationship now to the one before, I learned to ask. I learned to actually ask for what I want. And I think that's something that I do wanted to let people know. You can, okay? In that mindset that you think I can't be authentic, I have to hide everything, I have to eat smaller portion and all of those things just to impress the guy. No, you're not going to attract him because 99% of the woman is doing like that outside. So if you want to be the 1% that find a really good guy that adores you, go and be you. You're not being rude, you're being confident. And confident is the most attractive, sexy things that you can ever do. I say no to him all the time. I ask him to do things all the time. And of course, when you ask something to do something, show appreciation, show thank you. Kiss him all the time. I kiss him all the time for cooking meals. He cooks every single night. So I don't do any of that. So all of those things that you have to learn how to communicate with your partner about your needs, and having that confidence to say so was something that I didn't have in my past relationship. I'll blame myself for not cooking. I'll blame myself for not doing the cleaning good enough. I blame myself for everything. And that days is over now because I realize this is human nature. It is for men and women as well. The one who care less are the more blessed one in a relationship. Doesn't mean that there's the differences in love in there. Everyone have differences in love and is love. But when we realize that our investment, relationship is an investment. So you need to actually realize what you're giving have the right amount of return on investment. So if you guys are building a relationship, this is what I used to do. I build into level 5, and he's at level 1 having a cocktail. And I tell him, don't worry, you don't have to work. I will go and do everything. And I continue to build to level 10. And he's still in level 1. And that's when women feel frustrated, not valued, not appreciated, not seen, not validated. We are contribution to that too. Like, I'm not here to blame anyone, but take responsibility on what we haven't done right. So it is true, we build too fast. We're not seeing the return on investment. So now with this new relationship that I have, is the first time in my life that I was able to do this correctly. Okay, I did study 40 relationship courses after my divorce because I choose not to give up on me. And I'm someone that who's 40 years old, who's a big girl, short hair, not your typical girly type of girl. I was so scared that I would not find someone. So I was on 8 different apps, seeing 5 different candidates per week. And the funny thing, this is a funny thing. I actually bring the guys to the same restaurant because I like what the food in there, and I don't mind having everything in the menu. So I was so scared that one of the waiters would come in. Oh, so you came in with a different guy yesterday, and then I become the escort. So there you go. That was a really funny joke there that happens. But yeah, it didn't happen. But the one thing that I did in that dating scene is that I didn't give up on me. I was laughed at. I was called name of being a professional dater. I have been put down by people saying that, oh, you're so needy, you're so desperate and everything. And I'm like, It's my life. You don't live my life. So you can't judge me on whatever I want. And if I don't put the energy and the effort into finding happiness for me, what am my life going to be? Like you, miserable, complain and all of that? No, I'm not interested in a life like that. I want a life filled with love, kisses, and cuddles. And I got that. It did take me a year and a half to find him. It did take us 4 years to really gel together, to see each other as the right person with each other. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. There's 5 stages of dating that which I developed. Happy to share that with anyone later onto it, and just realizing that the investment you need to put need to be balanced. Because in my last relationship, I built to level 10 and he was in level 1. Now I will let him build to level 2 and then I catch up. Isn't that a lot nicer that you catch up and they feel like they're the provider and they feel more manly? It's a very happy attraction relationship.
Mm. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I've been through that too. So I'm like, if I come in, I want you like halfway already. I can't build you up because I
Mm,
almost lost my life from that. So
yeah.
I guess it's just like the different perspectives of it.
Mm,
Um, I wanted to ask, because I wanted to go back because you mentioned on a part of the abuse that your husband was, and you don't like noise from this, is he was breaking stuff, and you
mm.
also said he was breaking windows and stuff.
Yeah, breaking windows, chucking wine glasses onto the window. They're breaking all. We used to have a glass table. He completely smashed it into pieces. He would chuck everything that he can put his hands on because he was angry at something. There was some frustration going on. So that's what he did.
Wow. Um, did your parents know that you were going through abuse?
Nah, and they still don't know to today. I
Unless
was
they
too
watch this
scared.
podcast.
Yeah, unless they watch it. Hopefully they're like, honestly, I always have to say, thank God my parents doesn't really know social media or English, because if they actually know that the stuff that I went through, they probably would feel very bad about themselves. Like I'm not at a stage that need their validation or need their apology. I'm at a stage
Hmm.
that now I'm completely okay with everything. So I don't need their apology or sympathy about me. It's like people say to me, I'm sorry for what you went through. I'm like, I'm grateful for the life learning that I got. I'm at that stage already that I don't need apologies for anything because I'm happy the way I am now. Then why drew onto the past and holding on to that resentment and frustration while the other person is having ice cream? No, I'm having ice cream. I love my ice cream.
And but that's a true healing journey, right?
Mm.
That is a true healing journey. So you said when you left him, you just was okay.
I was actually the most happy divorcees there was ever been because I met the wrong white guy. He was my transition and he made me feel like that there's hope outside. But when you put hope in too fast, that's what happens. And within 3 months, he decided to end things. And I went to the deepest depression I have ever went through in my life. I was so bad at that stage that I couldn't even pack my own house. I have to have someone to come in to actually pack my house to move. I was at that bad. I went to all the trauma therapies because of this guy that I met for 3 months. Interesting, isn't it? A lot of women actually experience that. The 19 years of a relationship didn't hurt me as much as this guy that I was with 3 months. And then we dragged on for about a year and a bit until one day that I finally realized that, hey, Martha, you are value. You have value. What are you doing to yourself? If he doesn't want to have a relationship with you, you don't need to beg for it. You need to stand up and go and walk your own way. And I did. And that's when I find Malcolm, which is my current partner. He is the one that when I find him, I was at my highest vibration. I was at the point that I don't care. I was at the point that I'm happy at myself. I'm at my most confident self. And that's what I attracted him. And he did say to his ex-wife which we met very early on in our relationship, like he say to her, this one is very different. She got her shit together, put it that way. And she's very confident in what she does. And I'm happy. And I think after you got together, there's a lot of gelling together. There's always a lot of learning. And I'm grateful for the 40 relationship courses that I have done for myself. I did it because I want to learn about relationship, intimacy, and men. I didn't learn that before I become a coach. I actually did it for my own healing journey. So I did so many courses to understand men, intimacy, myself. And one of the biggest thing in relationship courses, okay, anyone that's going for a breakup or going for a heartache, you go in to do a relationship course and you thought that they would teach you a way to either get him back or fix yourself. The truth is, all of the relationship courses, the one key thing about it is to teach you to forgive yourself, to forgive yourself of all the mistake that you have made, to forgive yourself for enduring that bad experience in the relationship, and to finally truly love yourself. And that's what relationship course is more about. Of course, there will be technique and strategy of how to attract, maintain attraction, and how to do conversation, etc., etc. But the most important message that I learned from it, which is the one sentence that truly woke me up, is not just to forgive the other person, but it's to actually forgive yourself. Because a lot of us hold that grudge in ourselves. Like, why am I so stupid? Why I fall into this? Why I only been with these guys for 3 months and then I'm hurting like there's no tomorrow? And it is a lot of guilt, a lot of self-blame. And I think learning that was the biggest outcome that I got from all the relationship courses I have done.
And what would you say was the significant moment or the turning point that made you want to go into confidence coaching, or where you felt like, that was your lane and that's what you would like to help people do?
I have to thank my current partner because when we first met, it was just before COVID. 2 months later, that was COVID. And I work as a makeup artist, which is face to face. So I have literally 2 years of no income coming in. So during that time, my partner said that you are very inspirational. Why don't you look at the coaching area? And then at that time, I was on trauma therapy as well. And my own therapist said that you are very inspirational. Why don't you go and learn some counseling courses or coaching courses so you can help more people? And because of COVID, like everything is a blessing in disguise. It's because of COVID that I have to learn to thrive, to actually find another way. So I learned how to actually make business online. And I didn't know I can use all my experience as a business owner. I have run multiple businesses in my life, but my core business is the makeup business. I have my own team of 20 people. I have run very successfully, building up my brand name. Everything was really good. I didn't know that I can use that. When I got into coaching, after I did my first certificate, and then we're thinking about a name, and my current partner said to me, "What do you want to call yourself?" I'm like, no matter what I went through, the one thing that I know I have is confidence. I never gave up on me. So I wanted to teach people that to have the confidence to face their life. And he said that, I was like, oh, confidence coach is not very attractive. You need to call yourself a super confidence coach. And I'm like, really? Very scared, isn't it? When you're like first starting your own business, and I'm like, oh my god, so scared. And it took me about 3 months to embrace that super confidence because I was very confident. I was one of the very rare people that when I launched my coaching business, within 10 days, I got my first client. Within the first 3 months, I was making 10K a month already. So within a year, I was a six-figure coach. So not many people can have that track record. And the main thing about me is because I combine all of not my life's experience, but my work experience and everything that I have learned in corporate, building our own business, in mindset, in relationship. So I help people based on the word confidence in the area of self-worth, relationship, and starting their own business, because that's the journey that I help people through. And I'm what they call the role model expert. I don't teach things that I don't know or personally learn. I actually teach things that I actually know and learn. Like I have about $50,000 worth of training behind me from 2 days onward. I'm an NLP master. I have a PhD in coaching. I've done all of that already, which I completely, absolutely love. And I think the biggest inspiration of transitioning from a makeup artist to a coach is that I'm helping people. Before half of my life that I have helped women to look beautiful, to feel beautiful. Now I do it differently. I help women to feel beautiful so they look beautiful.
Love it. Love it. We're getting there. So I'm gonna ask another question. So building through the coaching and I don't know if you were at a point. Well, you said you were thriving after
Mm,
your breakup of 3 months.
mm.
How long were you down for the guy you dated? For
The
three.
one good guy.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
the
we
the bad
were
one after the breakup, the rebound.
the rebound. Oh, the rebound was awful over a year. Like we broke up 3 months, and then we were back and forward, back and forward, back and forward for a year until December. Like from early in the year to December, and then almost like a 12 months period or longer. And then I said to him that, hey, I really want a relationship. I like what we have. I really want a relationship. And he said that I'm just not ready for a relationship. I'm healing. I'm doing all of that. And I'm like, I was still at that stage I want to chase, but some point that he did something that was right. He blocked me. He blocked me on all social media. He blocked me on more messages. So I have no way of contacting him. And I think that was the time that I finally realized that this person have no hope. Like I said, women don't give up until they realize there's no hope in this relationship anymore. And I think that I thank him for his action, that by blocking me, that I was able to move forward and start a completely new relationship. And I think after 2 years, I did text him on his birthday. Just I think I wanted that closure. And I think for a lot of women, we like closure. And even that we have to realize these days, the moment that they don't contact you, that is the closure. That is the closure. But a lot of us don't have this thinking of not giving up. Doesn't matter. They block us or something. We will still want to chase. So I'd make that mistake as well. So I think after a year or two, and I did text him. And I said happy birthday to him. It must be the first year. I say happy birthday to him, and then he actually replied back and say, I always have a good memory of each other and things like that, all of the good stuff. But I didn't reply back. I said, that's it. That's the end of it. And I told my current partner about it because I feel bad about hiding things. You don't need to tell everything to him. But like, if you're emotionally triggered, it's something that you can actually share into it. And he, like my current partner, understand. He was very accepting. He understand that was part of my journey of learning. So that is really good. I'm very lucky that it's funny. When I first got married, I only have one requirement of guys. As long as he can sing, I can marry him. And my ex-husband can sing. How stupid, isn't it? At 21, as long as he can karaoke,
Mhm.
I can marry him. And that's the reason why I marry him. And then this time, now that I have the learning, I said that I want a guy that is intelligent. I know I'm highly intelligent. So I want someone that is intelligent, that who I can look up to. And I find him. So he's very intelligent. He can be my walk. He can be the person that I can be the lower person, because as a woman that is in business, we have a lot of masculine energy. And then because of my experience in my DV, that I was the masculine person too. So coming into a new relationship, I have to understand how to transition my feminine and masculine energy so I can be more loved and accepted, and learning how to receive love. And with my current partner, he knows how to do that with me. He's also in the self-development area, so it really helps. Like what you just said, that I want people in the middle so we can build together instead of someone at the bottom that I can
Yeah.
help him build. That's the difference. And I have to say that I'm very blessed that to be able to find him, and that we work together every single day to make sure that our attraction is the same. Because I don't know if a lot of women realize it. Men actually love more, and then their attraction goes down. Women's love little, and then their attractions goes up. So it's a completely different way of how men and women love. That's why a lot of women feel like that there's love bombing and everything at the start, and then after a few months, or they're not giving me as much attention, and then the woman freak out and then go and chase them more, and then it's never a good ending. Not knowing that, you know what, when they pull out, you pull, and that's when you give the space for them to come back. So with this guy, that what I did was, it's really about learning how to increase and maintain our attraction to each other, because familiarity is one of the biggest failure in relationships, especially long-term relationship, because you're so used to the person. The truth is, human do like drama. We do like excitement. So we
I
need
think
to find
I agree.
drama.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think I agree. Drama is entertaining, but I know we're almost at time, and I guess you could just say yes to this because I wanted to ask: do you feel as though you were being pushy on him, like because we can be overly pushy on men that can cause them to push away?
Definitely, I would say yes, because I was desperate. I just
Okay.
don't want to be alone, and that will be the thing. And that's the problem with women, that the second time coming out of the relationship, and when you see all this hope, and when they pull away, you just keep chase. That I was definitely someone that who didn't give up until
Okay.
that there was no hope.
Sid, do you have another question?
I don't. If you want to go into your
Okay. All right. So we're almost at time. We have two final things, and the one is if you can give the audience advice of the things that you have been in life and where you are now that helped you start the journey to healing, or what can potentially help them start the journey to healing, going through 19 years of abuse, being bullied as a child, and just that self-reflection of love.
I think that I can give people two tips. First thing is ask for help. Never think that you don't deserve help. Never think that you're always the giver. I have never asked for help before and you feel embarrassed, ashamed to do so. Always ask for help, because when you are at tunnel vision, you don't know that there is different way. When you're asking for help with the right people, not the wrong person, okay? Not everyone is an expert in their field. So don't just listen to your next door neighbor. That's what I always say. Always look for professional help and get those like very zoom out advice. So they're more in the center. They're more giving you better advice onto it than just your next door neighbor or girlfriend that have your best in inches. That's not the best way to go, unfortunately. So the second tip is realize that you can give up everything else in life. Other people's expectation, how to please other people, get other people's respect, whatever. You can give all of that up, because that's giving you pressure and anxiety plus depression. What you don't give up is your happiness, your good, and the things that is good for you. Never give up on that. When you don't give up on that, your life will change, because people around you will change because you know your value and you know how to love yourself.
yes, wise words to live by. So we have come to our segment that we call Shameless Plug. You see all of your information scrolling across the bottom here. Just let our viewers know how they can contact you, utilize your services. If there's anything that you want to draw traffic to, anything that you have for sale, anything really, you have the floor.
At the moment, what I'm trying to do is to build an educational platform to help women. Doesn't matter they're rich or poor, they can come in to get expert advice, not just from their next door neighbor. So I have these two groups, that is Yeah the Girl 40 plus worldwide group, as well as the Yeah the Girl 40 plus Australian group. We are the two Facebook group that wanting to actually help more people. And we do have a website, a membership portal that is free for anyone to join, called yeahthegirl40plus.com.au. So thank you.
My pleasure. We want to thank you for tuning into Unfiltered Unspoken Podcast. We want to give a big thanks to Martha Mock. She has a lot of accolades behind her. You can almost say you're a celebrity makeup artist. She said top 10 in Australia, right?
Yeah.
So are you still doing hair and stuff
I
and
am still
makeup?
doing it because
Do,
the money is really, really good. And at the moment, but most of my majority of the time is to build the Yeah the Girls community.
Okay, can you tell people how they can contact you to get the hair done if they're in
Oh,
Australia?
oh, definitely. You can find me everywhere. As soon as you search Martha Mock, I'm pretty much everywhere on social media. You'll be able to get me.
Okay, so if I come to Australia, I might can get a color or something.
Definitely.
Yes. So we want to thank Martha for sharing her life experience. She went through bullying as a child. She went through watching her parents, well, her dad more so verbally abused. She went through a 19-year abusive relationship, got out of that, got into another relationship, and now she's found the love of her life. So she's also a super confidence coach, doing some wonderful things. So come join her network to all the women that are need building confidence, went through domestic violence. Yay, the girls 40 plus community. And Martha, hopefully your testimony will help someone else start the journey to healing. We want to thank you for tuning
Definitely.
in. Yes, we want to thank you for tuning in to Unfiltered Unspoken podcast.
Thank you for having me today.
It is a pleasure. Hey, Sid, we want to keep sharing these life experiences, right?
That's right.
That's right. Thank you, Martha, again. We're out.